However, no tour of Antigua's seaside sites would be complete without a stop at Nelson's Dockyard. With its quaint shops, hotels, and restaurants, the naval village is reminiscent of Williamsburg, Virginia, although on a smaller scale. It is also a superb example of a Georgian dockyard and the only one in existence today. In the 1700s, landlocked English harbor made an ideal naval port since it was virtually invisible from the open sea. The dockyard was developed to shelter and repair British warships, which sallied forth from the harbor to maintain England's ascendancy in the Caribbean. Admiral Horatio Nelson, Antigua's most famous naval commander, made it his base in the 1780s and gave it his name. Thanks to extensive restoration efforts during the 1950s, the dockyard now looks much as it did in Nelson's day. For a glimpse into the glorious past of this quiet little place, stop by the small museum housed in the Admiral's house. Nelson once lived here, and a bust of the naval hero frames the doorway. Rooms open to sea breezes provide a pleasant atmosphere for surveying mementos of the era. Ship models, maps, early charts, and Nelson's very own telescope give silent testimony of the sea battles once launched from this busy naval base. The unusual sail loft and accompanying boathouse are also worthy of inspection. During the British Navy's glory days in the 17th and 18th centuries, Nelson's dockyard was filled with big ships that came in for work following battles. Much of the work was done at the sail loft, where gigantic sails were laid atop the pillars and platforms for repairs. The structures remain much as they were hundreds of years ago. You'll undoubtedly find the spoke and barrel capstans interesting props for picture taking, but their history is fascinating. The unique-looking contraptions were used for cleaning the bottoms of ships. Hardy sailors stood between the spokes, tugged on ropes attached to the ship's hull and capstan barrel, and moved in a circle to bring the ship on its side. Then came the arduous task of scraping off sea barnacles and residue. Imagine all this work going on without any vehicles, machinery, or computer software. If all this strolling and sightseeing works up an appetite or the desire for 40 winks, you're in luck. Many of the dockyard's vintage buildings have been painstakingly restored and converted to inns and restaurants. The Copper and Lumber Store, once a supply store and sailors' quarters, has been turned into a gracious inn filled with Georgian period furnishings. Suites are individually decorated and named for sailing clippers. And charming Admiral's Inn is a perfect stop for a bite. Once part of the ship refitting facilities, the inn's shaded terraces are custom-made for romantic dining. Settle back with one of Antigua's famous rum cocktails and reflect on the great sea battles of the past.